You have a question?
Yeah.
What's up?
So we just had sex this morning.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, am I gonna go to hell?
I sure hope not. You still are alive, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know many people that used to be all kinds of things, including myself, many different things. I used to be a drug user. I used to be all kinds of things. I won't get into everything I've done because it would scare you.
Okay.
But I am not. I'm not a felon or anything. I'm just letting you know that I will not. I'm giving you what the Bible says. The Bible says if you continue in any sex outside of marriage, whether it's with a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman and a man, no matter what it is, if it's outside of biblical marriage between a man and a woman,
What about like a threesome?
you will go to hell forever. I answered your question already. The Bible says in Genesis 1, it says he made them male and female. And for this reason, a man shall leave his father and be wed to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. And the first command he gave to that first married couple was to be fruitful and multiply, and to fill the earth and subdue the earth. So his first command was for men and women to be together and to be married. And to multiply. And so that was the reasoning. The reasoning behind that, I don't know everything, the reasons behind that. God does what and God does this, but his commands, because he loves us and he wants us not to die. Because if they would have done that, if the first couple would have done that, there would have been no more man and woman. So you're welcome. You're welcome for God's commands, because the first man and woman obeyed God, and you're here today because of them, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought God loved everyone for who they are.
He loves everybody, not for who they are, but because he made you, and he made you, and he died for you, and he gave you a way out of all sin. So if you continue in sin, he still loves you, but if you don't love him back, he will cast you alive into hell forever. Not because he doesn't love you, because you don't love him back. If you don't love God back, Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commands. Jesus has already done everything he possibly could for you. So it's not that he doesn't love you, it's that you don't love him back if you don't do what he says.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right. So I still love you no matter what you do. I've helped all kinds of people, you name it. I've helped them off the street or wherever they're at. I will help them. I will love them. Out of the hospital, I'll put them wherever they need to go. But if they don't want to accept Jesus, I'm not going to force it on them. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't accept Christ, you're going to go to a place that you don't want to go, and it's going to be the worst decision that you made on, not even in eternity, but this life too. God came to give you complete change of all sin, not just the one. He's an equal opportunity punisher, by the way. He's not just worried about your specific sin. You talked about having a threesome or having sex with another woman. Well, I'll tell you what, that's not. To God, that's just as bad as lying and hating and not loving him and doing what he says. The number one command God gave was to love God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and all of your mind, and all of your strength.
You're right.
So that's not the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is not love God.
Yeah.
And to understand and know God, you have to read his word.
You're right.
And to start with the number one is I'm going to do what God says and not what I think.
Okay.
Because the entire world has different gods for one reason, because they changed God to do what they want him to do. Go ahead. Another question?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Have a good morning.
You too. You have a good morning too.